Ramon Foster for the other booth presented by Marathon as we get ready for the third Saturday in October. Ramon, thank you for joining us. You got to be fired up for what's coming up on Saturday. I believe your first one in the booth for the Vols. How's everything going?
It is, man. Big time rivalry, night game, all the things that you can ask for when it comes down to playing Tennessee versus Alabama. So I'm excited for it. I can't wait to see what the light show, I guess, is going to look like inside of Tuscaloosa because I know it's going to be a party. SEC game with that much time to get spirited should be a good time.
Absolutely. Well, so far, just take us through the journey for this Tennessee football team, especially over the last few weeks where there have been some tight SEC games, but some really good wins for the Vols.
Man, it's been a bit of a pleasant surprise for what they are this year. Considering what happened this past spring with the quarterback leaving, going to UCLA, getting Joey Aguilar, you just didn't know what you were going to get. There was a lot of anxiety the first week of the season against Syracuse in Atlanta. Neutral site, first time in the offense. Nobody really heard a lot about what it was. And next thing you know, he can sling it down the yard. And that was, to me, super fascinating watching Joey Aguilar beat that. And of course, week three, Georgia, overtime game against them. And I never thought with a replacement quarterback and within first 6 months of what it is with him being on campus that he'd take that team to overtime. You lose it, bounce back from it, and as you mentioned a second ago, have to go on the road again to Mississippi State and start. They had a whiteout. They had a legendary team come back from them also, and to go into overtime in that game and to win it, I think that team and Joey took another step. And it's the same thing that happened against Arkansas. Arkansas, new coach. There's been a lot of newness for the Vols this year. I think that's the storyline. Bobby Petrino's trying to stake his claim, and you know the offense that he was going to bring on top of that team in general just been big. Arkansas is a big team. They have a dual threat quarterback that can easily create 10 yards with 3 steps is how big he moves, man. And they survived that one, the Vols did, man. And I thought that was a good showing to not lose to a team that had a lot of uncertainty to it with a new defensive coordinator, with a new defensive line coach, and basically a new head coach at the time. It's been a lot of newness for this team, and they've responded.
So you mentioned the new quarterback, Joey Aguilar. What's allowed him to fit in this system pretty well and get off to this good start? What's he doing when this team's playing its best?
His best thing he's been able to do is stay in the pocket. He's trusting his big boys up front and his tight ends and running backs to protect for him. And here's the thing about guys having like elite arm talent, or just being really good athletes. You got to be able to have the confidence to do what you know you can. I feel like Alabama last year had a little bit of that with their quarterback, Miller, who's in the NFL right now. He had all the attributes, but it's the idea of you doing those things really well. I feel like the Vols dealt with that a little bit last year with Nico Iamaleava too. A guy that has every intangible that you want with playing the sport, the athleticism, arm strength, the body type for it, but you still have to be able to deliver. Joey Aguilar, to me, is showing that he has the confidence and his ability to throw to his wide receivers, and not just that, but trust them too. He's smart with how he uses his legs. If he has to tuck in and run it, he does that strategically. And not just that, the way he's scanning the field. He's side to side with those guys. And Coach Heupel has added he's added layers to his offense this year too. And I think we're starting to see that for a quarterback that's throwing over the middle, down the sideline, and down the middle of the field at times too. His ability to just be ice cold and stay in the pocket and deliver is something I don't think the Vols have seen in the last couple of years with respect to the other guys.
Yeah, and with those other quarterbacks, I mean, so much attention went to the numbers put up by Hendon Hooker, Joe Milton, Nico, and throwing the football. But really, isn't running the football so key to this offense? Who's stepping up in the running back room right now?
It's been Deshaun Bishop, Star Thomas. It's been a committee for the most part with Peyton Lewis last game and against Arkansas. I didn't think Peyton Lewis had a good showing at Starkville against Mississippi State. He missed a block on a blitz protection, caused some negativity, and he kind of got put on the back burner a little bit. Deshaun Bishop goes down in the game against Arkansas. I think his ankle got tweaked on the sideline. And you had Peyton Lewis, who was a highly rated running back coming out, answer the call. But if you got to have a go-to guy, it's Deshaun Bishop. He was a former walk-on, chose to walk on to Tennessee while having offers at other places in there. You see him up close. He looks as if he lives in the weight room. He has good breakaway speed where he can get you chunk plays. He's good in pass protecting. And if you hit him, you got to bring him down with more than one person, more times than not. And he's kind of dedicated himself to reshaping his body and his mindset. He's got a respect of a lot of his teammates. Then you throw the other guys in there, as I mentioned with Peyton Lewis closing out the game, and Star Thomas is one of those guys that will leap over you and show his athleticism in the passing game and also with running the football too. So that committee of running backs has been good. Although I would say Deshaun Bishop is the go-to guy. He's the workhorse in my personal opinion.
And then looking at the wide receivers, how good is Chris Brazzell? He's had some incredible highlights so far this year.
Well, depending on how you view last week against Arkansas, it was one catch for 5 yards, but they did a lot of stuff against him. They rolled guys over to his side and said he's not going to beat us, and they did a really good job of that against Brazil. Tennessee offense gets a lot of knocks, so it's gimmicky, it's not real, it's not this. Put on Chris Brazzell's tape. One, I don't think you see different routes that this offense is running, different concepts too. But what I will say is this: he's catching NFL style passes. He's catching and making NFL catches also. The way he goes up and high point the football, his comeback catching has been elite this year. His ability to run away from defenders has been elite too. It's not just scheming him open, he's beating guys. I actually thought he had another one in the Mississippi State game, and they called, oh my gosh, an egregious OPI. He just simply dropped his arm, and the DB fell down to the ground. That's another score I think that he should put on his NFL highlight. He's been good. When he transferred into UT, you heard of what he could have been. Last year was a little bit of a learning curve for him. This year he dedicated himself in the offseason, and I got to give credit to the guy that's throwing the football. Joey Aguilar has found his sweet spot on how to give it to him, and he's been lights out this year.
Then on the other side of the ball, what's the strength of this Tennessee defense? Who are the guys to watch on that side of the ball?
Joshua Joseph is really good. Arian Carter up the middle is really good. You got Dominic Bailey, that's solid. You have a young player in Jordan Ross who can really get after the quarterback also too. He's a redshirt sophomore, 6'5", 240. They have the ability as a unit to sack the quarterback. I think that's been their strength. The running game, run defense that they've had has been lacking. And like I know, Roger, like in the SEC, you got to be able to stop the run. Here's what I will say. They've been a good bit of bend but don't break. And more than anything, they've been very opportunistic on how they get to the quarterback and turn you over too. They have 4 scores defensively, if my stats are right, as far as being able to get to the end zone. 26 sacks last year, even with James Pierce Jr. as a projected first-round draft pick, they only had 29 on the season. So their ability to rotate in and get after the quarterback has been huge for them. That would have been, I think, the strongest suit. And I would also throw Colorado transfer, late spring edition, Colton Hood. He's been good as long as he's above board. There's not been many guys that's gotten over on him in the secondary. Colton Hood's been a nice addition to this team too. They got a young guy in Ty Redmond that's been starting a lot. He's a true freshman, long, rangy, very confident in himself, but he's a freshman. It wouldn't shock me if Kalen DeBoer tried to attack a young guy like him because anybody would just to see if it's real or not.
And then finally, you mentioned Kalen DeBoer and this Alabama team. Just what stands out to you when you watch this group on tape? What's going to be most important for this ball game?
It's Ty Simpson. Like I say, I mentioned Jalen Milroe earlier. There's a difference in the quarterback play, his poise. He's a coach's son, head coach son. His dad actually coached my brother-in-law at UT Martin. So I've heard about Ty for a very long time, and kudos to him for waiting his time. Doing it the old school traditional way and staying down until you come up. That to me is the separator. Ty Simpson, a crazy stat just in general. I think right now Alabama is 51% or 50% on third down conversions, but against SEC schools, he's 52%. That says a lot about the guy you have behind center. I know you guys or Alabama's got big boys up front, Jam Miller, Ryan Williams, Jermaine, like all of that is fine. The CEO of any program is the quarterback, and you have one in Ty Simpson that is poised. He knows when to leave the pocket. He's accurate with the ball. His short game is solid. And the other part of it is, I just being a competitor myself, I expect Kalen DeBoer to have a wrinkle. I don't know what it is, but I said it on my radio show in Nashville. The way he operates, I feel like as a coach, It's the old Patriots way where somewhere down the line there's a flea flicker. Somewhere down the line there's a double pass. Heck, we've already seen it with Vic Caden Proctor catching the football on the sideline. That's what you have to worry about, especially when you have a competent quarterback like Ty Simpson at this point.
Yeah, you mentioned Caden Proctor, you a former Tennessee offensive lineman. Have you sent some clips of Caden Proctor and some of the Wildcat packages lined out wide? Be like, Coach, I could have done this if you gave me a chance in the NFL or back in
Yes,
Tennessee.
that's a big man's dream right there, man. Listen, he's living it out. I'm guessing this is part of what happens when you're in the NIL era. Coach, I want this written in my contract. I get 3 runs and 1 catch this year. Oh, way to negotiate that in, Caden. I'm rooting for him from an NFL perspective, man. I think a lot of Caden Proctor of what he is as an athlete. And one of the best things that he's ever said as a big man myself that played a position and we just get overshadowed. I love the fact that he brought his cologne collection into the conversation one time. He said it. You can't. My thing. I tell my kids, all the athletes that I coach, you can't be big and stink. Do you hear me? You got to smell good, look good, feel good. And Caden Proctor, I know we rivals this weekend, but me and you, you're right. Pass the message along.
Yeah, we definitely will. Ramon, thank you so much for the time getting the scouting report on Tennessee. Safe travels this weekend to Tuscaloosa. We look forward to seeing you on Saturday. Thank you.
No doubt about it. See you guys. Thanks.